Thank you.
Hi, thanks for a great show. At the risk of mistaking coincidence for fate, this season we learned that Jacob assigns numbers to all the candidates, and Jack is number 23. And he's apparently ready to take over for Jacob. Coincidence that the finale was moved to March 23rd? May 23rd?
Yes.
All right.
Hi.
It was an answer. We could answer it.
I know you guys talked about Malcolm already, but I still have to know, why did the others think he was special, and how did he appear on the island when he was already off the island?
You know, Walt's specialness, and you know, special is a word that we've used with a couple characters now. Obviously, Hurley is special because he has the ability to see the dead, and Miles is special because he has the ability to read the dead's thoughts. Walt is special in an entirely different way. His in a sort of much more interesting way, and I think that clearly this is something that the others were interested in when they abducted him. But we inferred on the show, and also in some of these mobisodes that we did back in the 3rd season. We did one called Room 23 to put a little more clarity on that. The idea that Walt was so special that he started freaking them out, and that and Ben hints at this when he makes the deal with Michael, that he'd rather just get Walt off the island because this is threatening. So, you know, again, the show wants to flirt with that idea of, you know, we're constantly dancing on that line of, is there supernatural activity happening on Lost? Is it all, you know, is it all explainable? Some of it we're going to try to explain, but some of it the characters are going to struggle with explaining, and Walt's specialness is one of those things.
Over here.
Specialty?
I was wondering why do your opening credits spoil episodes by disclosing all the actors that are going to be appearing in any given episode?
You know, that's a good question. Contractually, the actors have to be in the credits if they're in the show, and that's, you know, that's a hard thing to go to an
Can't
actor's...
you make the lettering really, really small?
really small.
We will say one thing. Watch the finale like this.
Yeah.
Just the first 10 minutes.
You know, I mean, for example, one of the things that we did was we credited Desmond the entire season this year, even though he didn't show up until, you know, halfway through, and that was, you know, because we didn't really want to spoil when he was going to return. But it's really, you can't go to an actor's agent and say, you know what, we don't want to credit your client because we want it to be a surprise when he rolls into the show.
You wouldn't mind, right?
Yes. Yeah, so I mean, it's just a fact of television that we haven't figured a way around yet.
And you know, also one of the things that Lost did, and we weren't the first ones to do it by any stretch of the imagination, but we don't have an opening title sequence other than that. Wah. So, you know, if we did an opening credit sequence, we would be watching it still. Like, there's just, you know, there's so many characters on the show.
My question is actually from Michael Emerson. Do you prefer to play Ben Linus, leader of the others, or Dr. Linus, history professor?
It's been fun to be so potent for 4 years. I like them both, and the best thing about season 6 is to get to play 2 characters in one show. Because although they are nominally the same person, they're cast in such different keys and in such different palettes that I really did have to think up a new character, how he thought and how he ticked and behaved and dressed, and badly, obviously. So it was great.
Why must there be a human presence on the island?
Wow, a softball. Because the non-human presence version of the show would be very uninteresting to watch. I think you can watch it on the Discovery Channel. You know.
No, there's no more.
I mean, there's only one bird there.
Yeah.
That's right.
You know,
Because Walt's special and killed the rest of them.
Yeah.
Look, the fact of the matter is the Garden of Eden is only an interesting place once man is there to completely screw things up. So, that is the drama that we all want to watch. So the idea of having a human presence come to the island and struggle with this idea, whether, Locke used to say that the island brought us here, then we learned that Jacob brought us here, brought them there, but perhaps as an emissary of the island. But, I don't want to completely, make a joke out of your question. It's a very relevant one, but that's the biblical story to tell. Man, what is our own role in the sort of ecosystem of good and evil?
And thank you for asking a question that we literally have never been asked before.
Yeah.
It's true.
First and foremost, just thank you guys for 6 years of awesome, amazing television. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thanks very much.
And actually, I have a two-quick-parter from Michael Emerson. I know in interviews you said you used to do a lot of illustration when you lived in New York, and I was wondering if you still do that or you plan to do that anytime in the future. And was it a hobby, just something to pay the bills, or did you actually really, really enjoy it?
It was how I made my living for many years, and I did like it, but I don't like it as much as acting. And acting satisfies whatever that other thing did in a better way. And so I haven't touched pencil to paper in years.
Thank you.
Over here.
So I've got this friend who likes to come up with crazy theories about the show. And when we don't agree with it, he'll be like, "You're wrong. That's it. You're wrong. I'm right." So his latest idea.
This is you, isn't it? It's okay. You're among friends.
So he's paralleling Jacob having to protect the cave with the light to the people pushing the button in the hatch, and that they don't know if what they're doing actually is doing for a reason. And he's saying that Jacob doesn't know if this light actually means anything, or if it gets stolen, there's going to be anything wrong with it. And he brought all these people to the island against their will. So he's the antagonist, and the man in black is the protagonist, and we're supposed to be rooting for the man in black to get off the island.
Wow, ironically, your friend just won our $1 million prize!
No, your friend sells medicinal marijuana, doesn't he?
I was just wondering if that argument was valid, and if it's
Do you want us to say, yes, you're right? That's the end of the show?
Do I have permission to tell him he's wrong?
In many ways,
because coming from you, that would.
You have permission to say that he has an awesome imagination and that he's done some very interesting, deep thinking about the show. But we do not want to spoil the ending of the show. And we love the fact that your friend is postulating this idea. How's that? Tell him that.
Thank you.
Yeah. To go back to the faith question, the idea that people are attaching potential malevolent intent to Jacob is certainly part of the design of the storytelling. Every time a character says, "You've got to do this," and if you don't do it, something really bad will happen. There is a very biblical aspect to it, which is that's the Bible. It says don't do this, and if you do this, something very bad will happen, and you get to decide whether or not to live your life trusting that this book is right, or whether you're going to completely, throw it aside. And and it's not just the Bible; it's sort of every major religion, and that's something that you basically have to fundamentally accept. You know what? There's no positive and definitive evidence that there's anything down there that's worthy of protecting. But I'm going to protect it anyway because I believe in my heart that's what I'm supposed to do. At the end of the day, it's not the book that matters. It's what you yourself are telling yourself.
Over here.
You guys rock. And Mr. Emerson, do me a favor and tell your wife she's awesome on True Blood. She's amazing. Great show. Great show. But before I ask my question, I just want to give this to you guys. Some people want answers to questions or your autograph or who made the food drop in season 2. I don't want any of that. I just want a job. So this is my resume. So your next project.
They don't have a show anymore.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, your next one. We
need someone to move some boxes.
We unfortunately fired ourselves.
Yeah. But my question is, your decision to to go radio silent after each season. It's kind of all right because you do a lot of promotional material before the next season, but after Sunday, we'll have no more of that. Will you ever